Welcome! In this video, we'll use data management in Fabric Planning to streamline employee time tracking. We'll walk through two setup methods that share a similar approach but use slightly different structures. Let's start with our app, which is already connected to a Fabric SQL database. We've organized our data into separate sheets for employees, projects, tasks, allocations, and one for time tracking. As we mentioned before, in this setup method, we have a single time entries table where every task for every employee across every date is logged. Reviewing this standard list format can get tedious fast. Let's switch to a crosstab layout, which spreads our data across rows and columns for a much cleaner view and easier time tracking. Setting up the crosstab layout is simple. We just need to choose a pivot column, then decide what goes into our rows and columns. From there, we can fine-tune our aggregation settings and adjust how the time periods are displayed. As we see here, the crosstab layout is very similar to a pivot table in Excel and makes handling the time tracking data a lot easier. Navigation between different weeks and months is simplified, with the ability to navigate directly to a chosen period of data. The number of periods being displayed on the screen can also be changed. Adding data in this layout becomes a lot simpler when you have to do it for multiple days. We only need to insert one new row into the crosstab for the time range we're entering data for. We'll enter the hours logged for each day under the corresponding date. We can check the data preview to see what's being written back to the database. Here, we can observe that while we only appeared to be writing a single row of data in the crosstab layout, behind the scenes, Fabric Planning is writing 5 rows of data back, one for each date that time is being logged. Now, let's look at setting up a slightly different time tracking app. All our master data tables remain the same, but the time tracking is split up into a separate table for timesheets and one for the time entries. Each time entry is linked to a timesheet. The setup for our crosstab layout remains mostly the same, but we'll now set up the timesheets table as a header table for the time entries table. Once we set up the crosstab layout this way, we'll be able to navigate time entries using the corresponding timesheets. We will also be able to create a new header record, or timesheet, directly from the time entries crosstab. We can start entering time for the new timesheet right away, and this gets saved in our entries table. When we go back to the sheet with all our timesheets, we'll see that the new timesheet we created from the Time Entries crosstab has been added to the table. And there you go, a time tracking app made easily with two different types of structures using no code at all.